Hello my dear friends, welcome back to my channel. Really happy to see you, and I have a special candle for you today. I have the Kringle Reserve Juicy Strawberry. This is a super limited edition. Was released spring 2023, which is what it is right now, spring 2023. I believe that these were released about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks max. And there are many candles that have sold out of this particular reserve line. This was the second one to sell out. The first one to sell out was Jelly Donut. This was the second one. I picked this up fairly soon after the release, and I actually bought 2 of them. And I have burned, I'm sorry, I don't have the other one. It's actually burning right now in another room. I would say that I've burned it about half. Maybe a little bit more. So I've definitely been burning it hours and hours and hours, a lot of days this week, etc. This is the second one. So this is brand new. But the other one, I assure you, has been burned, and I have thoughts on the burn, etc., etc. Let's get into it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am really torn and conflicted about this video, this review. In many ways, I don't want to do it. I am having a hard time knowing what it is that I want to say about this candle because I'm not really sure that I love it. And I bought 2. I expected to love it, and I'm not sure that I do. But there are a lot of things that I really like about it, so I definitely want to hit all of those marks. And on top of it, the reservations that I have about this candle, I think a lot of those reservations are subjective. This just may not be my cup of tea in terms of what it is that I really, really like in a candle that I would want to burn in my house. It does not make it a bad candle. I think it's still a very excellent candle, and I think that there are people that are really, really gonna like it. I know there are a lot of people who like it strong on cold if they went ahead and picked this up and haven't yet burned it. And I think what makes me most unhappy about the fact that I don't love this is that I watched Mick Kittredge in his live with Philly Candleman a day ago. He was talking about the new soy line, but of course he talked about a lot of other things too. And he admitted that Juicy Strawberry is possibly one of his best candles, his favorite candles of all time that he has ever made, which makes me feel even more terrible about not loving it as much as he does. But I'm gonna try to keep it honest on this channel. And even if there are many of us who don't love this quite as well, even if those of us who don't love it quite as well are in the minority, I want you to know that if you're one of those people, you are seen and I'm with you, but that doesn't mean that it's not great in a lot of ways. So let's talk about it. So this is a very familiar Reserve aesthetic. All of the Reserve candles that are put out by Kringle are in this like painted black, more or less opaque. I don't know that I love the aesthetic, although I appreciate it because I just think it's super classy. And I think that's what they were going for with the very, the aesthetic, as it were, of something that is very premium, because this is a couple dollars more. This goes in at $31.50, which is, I don't know, $1 or $2 more than their regular Kringle line. For my money, I'm not really sure why it's more expensive. I do suspect painting the glass probably makes it a little bit more expensive. And I'm not saying that because I don't think that it's worth it at $31.50, or that it's not a premium candle, but it really is just a reflection of how premium the entire Kringle line is, you know? I mean, the Kringle candles are just superb. They really are, from burn quality to thought and care in terms of scent combinations and blends. I mean, it's really just a premium company. And so I don't know that there's a whole lot that distinguishes, honestly, this Reserve line from many of the other candles that they offer that are cheaper. It is also a very masculine, if I may, vibe. I kind of laughed when I saw this strawberry because I was like, this is like if a man was like, I want a candle for my man cave, but let it be strawberry, you know. But instead of like a Bath and Body Works, like unicorn marshmallow pink, it needs to be black, you know, and then we'll just put a strawberry on for realism. I do like and appreciate the fact that the label fits it very nicely. There's a darkness to the label that really embraces kind of that dark, premium, possibly masculine aesthetic, and just really foregrounds the strawberry, allows that to really pop. So I think it works, even if it's not a particularly fresh spring-like or garden package, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what I smell when I smell it, when I open it up. First cold impression. The top notes, if you will, that I smell, or that I think I smell, is mint. And I know mint is not listed as one of the scent notes, but for me, the top of this fragrance is herbal, and it is mint adjacent, i.e. it is a sharp and pungent herbal that is also a little bit on the cool side. Maybe that's what's making me think that it is mint. Maybe some ozone, and Kringle has several candles that have kind of like a mint and then a cucumber or an ozone like feel on the top of them. I'm thinking dewdrops specifically, but maybe even Spa Day. And those do, I think, have mint listed formally in the scent notes online. Okay, so basically what I'm getting is mint forward, and then very strong and robust strawberry, which is exactly what you want. And this, while it is a sweet strawberry, it is not candied, and it is not synthetic, and it is not stewed or macerated, as in strawberry shortcake or something like that. I mean, it has no sugar on it. It's just a very strong, fresh, even botanical strawberry that you would cut open. So if you cut and slice all of your strawberries for strawberry shortcake, before you pour sugar all over them, it is gonna be fragrant. And that's the fragrance that you get, which is fantastic. There is a little something on the bottom, and I'm not sure what it is. Now that I read, though, the scent notes given from the company, I'm thinking it might be geranium. Geranium is a very pungent flower, and I do think there is something floral underneath that is not a cool floral, but it is an aggressive floral, and it is complementing the strawberry really nicely and filling it out, amplifying it, if you will. But it's not strawberry. It's not strawberry. It's something else. I don't know that it's terribly pleasant to my nose, and honestly, geranium is a little bit of an acquired taste. But for me, on one's first impressions, it's a two-dimensional candle in that it's primarily this sharp herb and then this very, very fresh strawberry. People have been referring to this as green. But the thing is, green, there's a big range for green. Like, what kind of green do you mean? Do you mean a green like a fir or a balsam? Do you mean a green like freshly cut grass? Do you mean a green like ivy green? Do you mean a green like, I don't know, herbal green? Herbal green. All of those are greens, but they just have a completely different scent makeup, right? So green is probably not specific enough for this, and I think I did buy it on the premise that it was much more of a vine-like green. So I was expecting something that was just going to say strawberry patch. That's what I was told to expect, that this was a very authentic going to pick strawberries in the patch kind of candle. But unless your strawberry patch has herbs grown up in between all of the strawberry plants, I don't think it's that kind of a green, if that makes any sense. So a lot of my reservations about this experience have to do with my expectations of what it is that it was sold to smell like. And I have to say that that is less to do with the sell that came from Kringle as the sell that I have heard from many people who bought it and then said it's like picking strawberries in a strawberry patch. That kind of green, that kind of strawberry, and I'm not sure that it's entirely that. All right, I'm gonna read to you the scent notes that Kringle have given to us. Top notes, lemon leaf, tomato vine, and parsley. Those are your top notes. Mid notes, juicy strawberries, sheer basil, and violet leaf. And then your base notes are oak moss, geranium, and musk. I'm not getting a whole lot of oak moss, and I'm not sure that I'm getting a whole lot of musk either, although upon burning it, that may come out a little bit more. I reviewed earlier the old school Yankee Candle Blueberry. And the old school 70s Yankee Candle Blueberry, if you're familiar with it, has violet and musk as the lower elements to it. This one actually has violet leaf apparently and musk as well. So intentional or not, it's kind of mimicking that. And in the blueberry candle, once it is burned, especially for a very long time, the blueberry saturates so much that you start to pick up on some of those base notes, and the musk and the violet come in there. When I was burning it, I wasn't aware of the musk or the violet in this candle, and part of that is because the herb quality, which is very strong on cold, came out just as strong upon burning it warm. And in my opinion, it's the herbal element here that is a little bit overpowering. So those are the three notes that are, or the three sets of notes that Kringle gives us. And just looking at them on paper, I would imagine all bets off on the base notes, because geranium, oak moss, and musk can all three be very prominent or not so prominent. You really can't tell from those, from that list. But you've got lemon leaf and tomato vine and basil and violet leaf. And frankly, those four are green elements that are difficult to capture botanically and can often have a much more fragile presence, okay? Parsley, not necessarily, but the other ones, yes. And it's mixed with parsley, which parsley is intense. And I think that although I'm experiencing it as mint, I think it's a muddled combination of the parsley and basil that is giving off that mint. And I blame parsley mostly for it, because while basil can be pronounced, although it's difficult to get it to be pronounced, parsley, I would imagine, takes very little for it to be pronounced. And it is a very strong, poignant kind of scent. So I just have a feeling that it's the parsley and the basil, but specifically the parsley, that is kind of dominating all of the other green elements. And it is matching the strawberry. So the strawberry is very intense, and when you smell it on cold, it competes with it toe to toe. The strawberry is mid, the strawberry is base, and this sharp herbal element is top. But when you smell it cold, right here in this contained space, they match each other. I don't know that they complement each other, but they match each other for strength. I can tell you though, upon burning it, the herbal element bests it. So, and this not only has to do with strength, but this has to do with throw. So an herb like parsley carries. It has a stronger throw in terms of space and distance, okay? They've done an amazing job pumping up strawberry, which is incredibly difficult to do. And this is one of my serious praises for this candle, is that, do you know how hard it is to develop an authentic strawberry and allow it to have a strong presence? I don't develop candles, but just my gut sense from smelling a million candles is that, and from cutting open strawberries, frankly, is that strawberry has a fragrance, but it's a muted one, that you tend to experience it more on your tongue than you do smelling it. And to be able to take one of those fragile botanical elements and amplify it to fill a room with good strength and throw is incredibly difficult while keeping its authenticity and its freshness. Now, if you candy it, if you macerate it, if you mix it with a lot of other elements that make it maybe a little bit more strawberry Jolly Rancher or whatever else it is, strawberry pound cake, you name it, that is another way that you can amplify strawberry, but it's going to obviously be at the expense of the authenticity. So that's one of the things I really want to say about this candle is I am so impressed at how strong this fresh strawberry is, keeping its authenticity and its integrity as a botanical fruit, not making it too candied or sweet or dessert-like, and having as much of a presence as it does. And it definitely competes with that herbal element on cold. But then when you burn it, it doesn't have as much of a throw as the herbal element. So if the strawberry comes here, the herb goes another mile, right? Which means that when you're smelling this candle coming down the stairs from the upstairs or whatever else it is, you're going to encounter the herbal element before you do the strawberry. And so from a distance, I really just smelled herb. I smelled that mint rather than the strawberry. And the closer that I got to the candle, I experienced the strawberry. I actually put this in, I call it my laboratory for candles. I put it in my bathroom, which is a very close space, but a good sized bathroom. It's where I put candles where I really just want to walk in, be hit with a wall of scent, and really be able to experience it truly and honestly, especially for candles that are having some throw and strength issues. So I put this in the bathroom and I closed the door tight, hermetically sealed. And then I came in like an hour later, and the experience in the bathroom was the same experience as on cold, which is to say that the strawberry and the herbal element were keeping pace with each other, and I could smell them both. And I thought that that was probably the best experience for this candle. But this candle is so strong. I mean, it's at a 7 to an 8. I would say average at 7.5. There were moments I thought it was 8. There were moments I thought it was 7. This is not a candle that you put in a small space. It's overwhelming in a small space. I guess this is as close as I can come to like an objective criticism to it, which is that it's supposed to be about juicy strawberry, but the particular herbs that have accompanied it here are a little bit dominating to it, at least in a large space, which is where it needs to be. The strawberry takes a back seat, and I don't think you want that. The other thing that I have to say is that I don't know that these particular greens were the best greens to complement the strawberry. So the strawberry is a very fragrant, warm, sweet kind of thing. And if you're going for a strawberry patch, the vines that you would encounter are very similar to tomato vine. Maybe not quite as savory smelling, but they're very similar to tomato vine. There's a warmth to them, warmed by the sun, but also a warmth to the actual green scent that is betrayed by parsley and or mint, which lean cooler and sharper, if that makes sense. So I think there's just a lot of conflict in this candle because there's a cool herbal element and then there's a warm strawberry element. And to really get a better authenticity, I would want a warm vine scent. I think tomato vine is the right way to go. I do have, by comparison, a green vine that Kringle has done, and I know they can do it super, super well, and that is holly and mistletoe. I loved this candle, although a lot of people didn't from this year. This was a holiday release. And this, if you smell this, this is the green they should have used for this candle for strawberry, because it really does lean a little tomato viney. At the very least, it's a very strong green vine smell rather than an herbal smell. It's perfect. If they had mixed this with that fresh strawberry, it would have been a knockout, in my opinion. And it would have complemented the strawberry better. I went back and I looked at the notes for this. This has like, you know, because it's like holly, it's holly and mistletoe. So they've tried to capture the holly berries with some like, you know, currants, whatever else. And then the rest of the greens were, and I quote, earthy greens, rhubarb patch, rose thorns, blackberry vines. I mean, like rhubarb patch and blackberry vines, that's exactly the kind of green that they needed here. The only other green element here that is going to be a little bit spicy and cooler, they've got fir needles. I actually think it needs more fir needles, especially to be packaged and marketed as like a holiday or winter candle, because otherwise this is vibrant green and spring-like and a much better fit for strawberry. We needed to see those kinds of greens listed in this candle. Strawberry patch, rhubarb patch, blackberry vines, any kind of vine, but not parsley. And I think parsley is like maybe the misstep on this, at least for me. I'm really interested to know, once everybody's burned it, who really likes this candle and gravitates toward it. Because for those who are botanical curious, I don't know that this is a great intro to botanical because of like the herbal element, which is frankly kind of a little bit of an acquired taste. So there's that. And then gourmand lovers will be attracted to it because of the fruit element, but it's not candied or dessert-like. And I don't know that it's gonna be like sweet enough or warm enough for a gourmand lover. And then, I don't know, I'm a botanical lover. I love botanicals, and I don't know that I love it that much. So I'm really curious as to who the audience is for this and who will like it, although whoever you are, you're in very good company. Because the company CEO thinks this is one of his favorite candles of all time. So God bless. You guys are in really great company, and I do think it's an excellent candle. It's just, I just don't think it's for me. Sidebar, Mick, I am desiring, I will give you anything. I will give you my firstborn son. I want a blueberry botanical candle, a blueberry botanical. I've been wanting one for ages and ages. Same thing. I want like a very fresh blueberry and then vines. I want it to be called blueberry patch. Can you put these vines in it and maybe some dirt or something like that? You know what I mean? I will buy a whole case of them. I will buy them forever. That is what I would like. So I do think this is in the same genre, at least in intention, if not execution. And I really want to see candles like this going forward. I think it's fantastic. These are sold out. However, Mick said that he was doing a repour of the Reserve candles. It will also be very limited. So stay tuned for that. I'll link the Reserve platform down below, but you'll see that this one is sold out. Keep watching it though. Maybe put your email address in to tell you when another one comes into stock, because they will, and again, they will be limited. So don't miss out if you want to try it out. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.